Hi, my name is Yumiko Yamada. I'm from the SANAA office in Tokyo. I'm one of the partners now at the office. I'd like to explain 6 projects that we've completed in the past few years. We like to, when we're designing, our emphasis is really about how does the environment relate to the architecture, and how when the forms come out of how the people use it. So let me just explain the projects. The first one, maybe you're familiar, is the museum in Kanazawa, which is about an hour flight north of Japan, from Tokyo. It's located in the middle of it's in the center of the city, next to a very traditional garden. And the circular shape comes from the fact that we don't really have a main entrance. There's people coming from all different sides. And in this museum, there's very different uses. So in the center, the boxes are the paid zone of the museum, and the perimeter is the non-paid zone. And so the people can come in to the non-paid zones and check out the museum and how it's going. And then these partitions and the courtyards change. So when you come in, you can see what's happening in the paid zones by these courtyards as well. This is a gallery. And even in the unpaid zones, sometimes there's public art projects happening. So this is school kids who planted the morning glory at the beginning of summer, and then they waited, and then later on in the summer, all of it grew up to the roof, and so everything was green for one art project. That's the perimeter. The second project that that I'd like to explain is the new museum in Manhattan. So this is what was supposed to be a really big volume in downtown, in the Bowery district of Manhattan. What we did was we started to shift the boxes around a little bit so that it relates more to the surroundings. And then by doing so, we create these terraces and skylights and windows, so that from the interior also there's more relationship to its surroundings. So on the ground level, so you have some natural light coming into the galleries. And then also you've got some scary looking terraces, but there are guardrails. And then here's a view from a little bit afar. And another project that we've completed in the United States is the Glass Pavilion, which is a museum to display art made out of glass. It's located in a park, a very beautiful park. And in this project, it's predominantly made out of glass, because it's a glass museum. So we use the layering of glass to play with the transparencies. So sometimes, even though it's transparent, if you layer a lot of it, you can see some activities, you kind of get a sense, but you can also not see, because there's a lot of reflection. It's a community center, so it's used kind of as a community center also, so people can always see kind of what's happening inside and become curious and come inside, come and join. And there's workshops to make art as well. One of our first projects in Europe was the Almere Theater project in the Netherlands, located on the water. It has 3 theaters, small, medium, large, and the large is going to be approximately the same size as what you will have in the Nobel. Some interior views. I have to hurry. I'm sorry. And in the theaters, it's always a relationship to the water, because it's a very important aspect of the site. And the workshops, because the people, it's really used for the students and children to come in and make art, and studios. So it's always related to the water as well. And in 2010, we completed the Rolex Learning Center, which is in Lausanne, Switzerland. It's It's located at the university, the Polytechnical University in Lausanne. The university didn't have a center, it was all sprawled out, and the students didn't really have a place to hang out. And so what we did was we wanted to make a center, and what we did was we placed all of the programs, the library, the cafe, the study areas, the offices, and the multipurpose hall in one big volume, so that everyone can come to one place and do these various activities. We also made the entrance from the center, so you go underneath the slab to get to the middle of the project, and then you enter. And actually, to emphasize this feeling of center and being together, we didn't make any walls. We didn't partition the areas. What we did was we divided the spaces softly with these various patios and slopes, so that you always kind of have the feeling that you're all in the same space. So you can see to the different areas, and see what's happening all the time. And this is the main library space at the top of the hill. And this is the multi-purpose hall, so you can kind of see above the hill what's happening on the other side as well. Such a simple concept to make one room space of 15,000 square meters with various programs turned out to be extremely complicated, actually. So we had many consultants, structure, acoustic, mechanical, and one of the studies that we did was obviously the how to ventilate the space and how to keep the temperatures correct in the various programs. So actually this is it is a naturally ventilated space, and so of course the hot air rises, and then we could have very small smoke, what we call smoke exhaust, to let the hot air out to immediately cool the space. So anyway, the shape of the project really helped to minimize actually the mechanical systems in the project. This is a airspeed simulation, and if you haven't visited, it's a project which is personally dear to me, so please visit. It's in, and recently, last year in December, we finished the Louvre project in Lens, which is a satellite museum of the Louvre Museum in Paris. It's located on a old coal mining site, so it's in the north of France, an hour north. And it's a site which still has the old the place where the miners used to go down into, and then there's also the Pavilion where the rail system came to pick up the coal and transport it. So all of these kind of elements were kept. And the building, what we wanted to do was to softly follow the contour of the site. So it's slightly curved, so following the triangle, and also it's slightly sloped down because that was the natural terrain. And the exterior is cladded in anodized aluminum, so that it reflects a little bit of the surroundings. And the main hall is made out of glass, so that's so you can see the activities which is happening. This is the interior. This is showing actually the resource center. And you can always have a relationship to the exterior here. And one of the galleries is called the Galerie de Temps, which shows basically a very quick review of all the collection of the Louvre in a timeline. And the interior in this particular gallery is also cladded in aluminum, so that when you're seeing the art, you can also see the visitors, so you have a really good relationship with the art, but also the people. This is another view of the exterior. So this is a picture of the opening day. It's been a quite successful building, so I hope you have the chance to visit. And that's it.